Britton from Specsavers, who's our glaucoma specialist. A very good morning to you, Andy, and welcome to the G&T Breakfast Show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
It's quite a big week for you as a glaucoma specialist, Andy. It's World Glaucoma Week, a whole week dedicated to raising awareness of glaucoma. What is it? We'll start off there.
Well, I mean, glaucoma is a condition that affects the eyes. There's lots of different underlying reasons why people get it, but fundamentally, if left untreated, it causes blindness. And a lot of people will think it's the pressure in the eye, because that's one of the things that we manage with glaucoma. But there's a whole host of reasons that people can get it, and it causes a gradual restriction of your peripheral vision. And as I say, and it can cost you your driving license, it can cost you your mobility, your independence. But if we pick it up early, which any local optometrist would be in a position to do, we're able to hopefully manage it and prevent that. So the earlier we pick it up, the better the longer term outcome.
Yeah. What are some of the causes of glaucoma? Is it entirely hereditary?
No, not at all. I mean, we do get, there is a hereditary element, but unfortunately a lot of people weren't, it may not have been known in their parents. So even if you think you haven't got a family history, you might have done. But there's some drugs can cause it. So people exposed to long-term steroids. There's certain types of glaucoma can be associated with patients who suffer with lots of migraines, people who've got poor peripheral circulation, people who smoke. Smoking is an increased risk factor for glaucoma. So there's lots of other things like blood pressure, diet, that can all have an impact on your risks for getting glaucoma.
Oh, wow.
And does it affect people, sorry, Tom, does it affect people who are younger or just the older generation?
I mean, it can affect a lot of patients. There are different types. So some will affect the patients more at a younger age than others. And so, we typically, I start sort of more aggressively looking for it in people in the sort of mid 30s and beyond. But absolutely age is a factor. So the older you get, the much more likelihood you are of developing it. But obviously, if you're picking it up younger, we can manage it better. And it's important to be a bit more aggressive because you've got to live with it that much longer.
Yeah, because you shared some information with us earlier on in the week, because we're going to talk about how we can get involved in raising funds for Gloucoma UK. That the number of people living with glaucoma is set to rise. Is that because of the aging population, or is it other risk factors?
I think it's largely the aging population. I think probably better detection. Some of the technology that we're using in practice nowadays is picking it up earlier, which is great for the longer term outcomes, but obviously does potentially mean there's a little bit more work within the NHS to deliver the care that's required to manage it.
Yeah. And what are some of the treatment options then? You've found it, you've aggressively searched for it. We can see that your peripheral vision's shrinking now because of glaucoma. Well, what can you do then to keep vision?
Well, I mean, the key driver is bringing the pressure down in the eye. So a lot of people don't like coming to an optician because of the air puff test. Well, and the air puff test is one of the key things that we do look at. But we use drops or laser to bring down pressure. The newest treatment is often a laser therapy that tickles the inside of the eye slightly, and it helps the fluid drain away a little bit more easily. So it brings the pressure down. But most people end up at some point in their glaucoma disease progression on drops. And obviously, unfortunately, if the drops don't prove suitably effective, we may need to look at surgery. But that, again, if picked up early enough, is a lot further down the line and may never be needed. People who have it detected late and aggressively are the ones who end up having to have surgery as well. So by picking it up early, we can, the outcomes are so much better.
Yeah, and you were just telling us off air that by the time an individual might notice that their vision's shrinking and coming down to a point, by that point it's too late for the easier treatment options. So the key advice is to keep going to your checkups.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Welsh government's really got behind a new contract for optometry that delivers a much better ability for optometry to be involved in detecting and managing glaucoma, but we can only manage what we can find. And it's trying to break that perception that, you go to an optometrist just to buy glasses. To me, I spend probably 80% of my day looking after eye health. I don't spend much of my time looking at the glasses. I spend my time looking after people's eyes and their eye health. And I think it's increasingly apparent that's what's happening within the profession.
Yeah, it's great, and it's good to have these awareness weeks to draw people's attention to it, to maintain their appointments and making sure that eye health is great. And well, as a result, if we were to pop down to Specsavers today from 10 o'clock, we might even get a sweet treat for our troubles.
Well, we are. We've got a bake sale raising funds for glaucoma awareness, and I've seen some of the goodies. I've managed to keep my hands out. It's a little bit early for me to be doing cakes, but no, there's an amazing array of cakes, and we've also had some amazing raffle prizes donated through the box, and we've also got Waldo Lounge. So we're trying to raise awareness, we're trying to raise funds, and really. To sort of put glaucoma front and center of people's thoughts on this World Glaucoma Week.
Yeah, and of course you're in your new flagship store for Haverfordwest. How's it been? You're fully moved in?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, it's such a lovely environment. I mean, obviously, we welcomed you guys to come and help us launch the event, and you saw the space that we've got. So some of the stuff that we do with glaucoma here has been really embedded into the flow of the practice. So rather than our old building, which is all very squished in on each other, we've got specific rooms for doing specific tests, which means that it's a lot calmer. And I'm loving the riverside views, I have to say. I'm tempted to get my towel out and start sunbathing in the summer, actually.
And Gina, the thing that caught our eye was what's just over Andy's shoulder there.
It's absolutely beautiful. Tell us about it, Andy, and in the background.
That's a painting that was done by for my business partner Wayne Jones. His wife got it for his birthday last year, and as we opened the practice, this appeared. And it's been done by his niece actually. Wow. It's an original oil painting that she's done for Wayne. So it has pride of place. I mean, I debated putting my Lego collection on display for this.
I would have been more than happy with the Lego collection on display. Don't you worry. Andy, thank you so much for joining us. And that key message this week of all weeks is just to maintain those eye health appointments, to make sure that anything untoward towards your eye is caught early enough.
Absolutely. And optometry is really taking front stage with the NHS and trying to reduce treatment delays, reduce appointments needed in hospitals, and getting that sight-saving treatment in early.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And Andy, I think we're cut from the same cloth. You've got Lego in your office, and I think you're a bit of a rocker yourself. Who would be in your super rock band on the rock show last night? Who would be your lead guitarist and your drummer and whatnot?
Oh, I think Chris from Muse would be on the drums there. I think we've got to have a bit of Dave Grohl in there somewhere.
Nice.
I'm trying to think who else I'd have. Yeah. Oh, I mean, I'm a massive Muse fan as well. I appreciate we've also. But we're all. Yeah. So yeah. That's yeah.
There you go.
Sorry. I'm terrible at names.
Well, there's one name that we're going to be playing for us now. We had a little chat about some music taste that you've gone for. A bit of Billy Joe Armstrong. Did you fancy a bit of that?
That's the one. Yeah, that'll be rather good, wouldn't it? That was the name that went out of my head.
Andy, thank you so much for joining us this morning, raising awareness of glaucoma and what people can do to safeguard themselves with those appointments. We've got some Green Day on the way for us as we get to 9 o'clock. And I may even see you later for a cake.
Brilliant. Look forward to welcoming you down here. Take care, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The Breakfast Show on Pure West.